this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Friday the 19th of November. Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks. It's been a choppy start to the day. Going to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 58,154 to take a run at the first major resistance level of 59,754. Plenty of support from the broader market's going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from 58,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap the upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin target 63,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 62,544. Failure to move through the pivot, bring the first major support level at 55,364 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid the second major support level at 53,764 and the 23.6% fib at 53,628. Looking at the moving averages, 50 EMA continues to pull back from the 100 and the 200, so that is a bearish signal. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot at 58,154 and break back through to 59s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play. Ethereum against US dollar, positive start to the day. Going to see Ethereum move through the pivot 4102 to take a run at the first major resistance level 4243. Plenty of support going to be needed for Ethereum to break back through to 4200 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap the upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ethereum target 4500 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 4488. Failure to move through the pivot, bring the first major support level at 3857 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid the 23.6% fib at 3738 and the second major support level at 3715. Looking at the EMAs, also bearish, 50 continuing to pull back from the 100 and the 200, so expecting further losses on the day based on the EMAs. So key would be to move through the pivot at 4102 and break back through to 4200 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play. Looking at Litecoin against the US dollar, tracking the broader market, going to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 212 to take a run at the 38.2% fib at 223 and the first major resistance level at 224. Plenty of support from the broader market is going to be needed for Litecoin to return to 220s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap the upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 230s before any pullback. Second major resistance level is 245. Failure to move through the pivot, bring the first major support level at 192 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid some 190s. However, second major support level sits at 180 with a 23.6% fib at 178. Looking at the EMAs, also bearish, 50 continuing to pull back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot at 212 and break out from 220s to then target 230 levels. Failure to do that, and support levels will remain in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bullish. Going to see Ripple's XRP move through the 38.2% fib at 1.0659 and the pivot at 1.0730 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.1287. Plenty of support from the broader market will be needed for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.1s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap the upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.15s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.2170. Failure to move through the 38.2% fib and pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.9847 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.95s. Second major support level sits at 0.9290. Looking at the EMAs, also bearish, 50 pulling back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key through the early part of the day, move through the 38.2% fib and through the pivot at 1.0730 and back through to 1.1s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play.